Hey guys, in this video I wanted to show you where you can go to turn in the marks of honor that you will be accumulating every time you get a victory in rated or unrated PvP. So pretty much how it's going to work is we're just finishing up a battleground here. You can see here we earned ourselves a Fell Touch crate of battlefield goods. Now every time you get one of these crates, you're always guaranteed to get one mark of honor, but in addition you can get a piece of PvP gear as well. But let's check out some areas of where we can actually turn in these tokens. Okay guys, so the first stop is going to be up here at Area 52 in Outland up in Netherstorm, and these are going to be the actual PvP seasonal vendors that we're going to be looking at first. We're going to head over to this little hut here guarded by these two ogres. You've got Season 1, 2, 3, and 4 gear, all of which you can purchase here from these little goblins all hanging out in this building together. You'll notice here as we cycle through the gear as well, a lot of these items are different costs for the marks of honor. Most of the armor pieces ranging between 1 to 3 kind of thing, and all weapons tend to be around 5. You can see here we can actually scout out some of the different appearances of the various swords or daggers. They've all just pretty much got different types of gear, but you'll notice as well some of the models do look the same. However, some of the actual colors may be a little bit different for the various schemes of how these items work. But as you can see here, there's some of these items that are completely locked. You will not be able to actually use these at all at any point unless you've already achieved those ranks back in vanilla WoW before any of the expansions came out. That's pretty much what this gear is for, and it's still there, but let's look at some more vendors as well. Alright guys, so the next spot we can head over to is in actually Dalaran here, and this is going to be where we can find the Season 5, 6, 7, and 8 stuff. You actually just need to head down into the sewers, into the Circle of Willis. As you see, we just kind of travel down here, and again, it's all these goblins hanging out in this hut in the sewers. And I don't know why they have a hut here, but whatever, this is where you can find more gear. You'll notice here as we cycle through some of these items, it's not anything that's actual seasonal, as you can see. It just says the item levels, but now we have Season 5, Season 6, Season 7, and Season 8 stuff. So you can just cycle through all these vendors, but this is where you can find them. But let's go look at where we can find the next set of vendors as well. Okay, so now we're in Stormwind City, and we're in Old Town at the Champions Hall, and the equivalent for that for the Horde faction is going to be an Orgrimmar between the Valley of Spirits and the Valley of Strength in this building here that looks like a Sour Soother candy. It's called the Hall of Legends. Anyway, we have the Season 9, 10, and 11 arena vendors here, and they're really great for unlocking more transmog appearances, but even more so, these buildings have heirloom vendors, and these are awesome for leveling up your characters, so you can trade in marks of honor to get these. Great way to spend these actual tokens, so definitely hit those up if you haven't got all your heirloom items yet. Another great spot you guys can come to as a substitute as well is down here in Tanaris in Gadgetzan. The Season 9, 10, and 11 vendors will all be here as well. Both factions can come here, and they've got some really cool music if you want to just hang out with these goblins outside of this big arena here. So here we are in Pandaria, and between the Dread Wastes and the Valley of the Four Winds, you'll find the Alliance, Conquest, and Honor Quartermaster here, and there's a nice little emblem on the map that actually shows where it is too. But inside this building on the top of the wall, you'll find the Seasons 12 through 15 vendors. Here's the Season 12 here, he just deals with blue gear. Right across from him is the Season 13, and across from this guy, you'll actually notice that there's a Season 14, and then the Season 15, and then there's going to be one more Season 15 vendor directly across from them as well, so you can scout out all of those guys. Now, if you guys play for the Horde faction, you're just going to have to head up a little bit more north along the same wall. There's an icon that marks it between Tanlong Steeps and Kunlai Summit, but inside you'll find the same type of seasonal vendors that have all the same gear. Last but not least, we have the vendors found in Ashran. Now, these vendors hold the gear that's equivalent to Season 16, 17, and 18 pieces. However, it's actually been renamed to Warlord Season 1, 2, and 3, so we actually know which seasonal gear is in the expansion. We can probably expect to see this happening in Legion as well. But we also have this token called the Arsenal, and it allows you to actually collect weapon sets through the entire season through all of your characters. So it does cost 80 marks of honor, but it opens up all weapons that any of classes can use in that season. They don't have that for armor tokens yet. You have to buy those individually, but hopefully we can see that coming up in Legion. So besides the seasonal PvP vendors that we took a look at, there's also other areas where you can turn in your marks of honor as well. A lot of these revolve around actually going to battlegrounds, and most often you're going to have to deal with a vendor that will deal with the faction related to that battleground, such as Warsong Gulch with the Alliance would be the Silverwing Sentinels, or the Horde would be the Warsong Outriders. Now you'll be able to see that with these vendors there's a lot of different items you can also get for transmogrification, but they are in different locations and they do have some different appearances because obviously the factions themselves are differing. So I will actually link this in the description below, where you can actually check out all of these different PvP kind of quartermasters, they're called, and there's even some as well that you can check out for outdoor zones that even don't have to do with the Marks of Honor necessarily, where you'll actually have to go to outdoor PvP zones like Hellfire Peninsula, the starting zone in Outland, where you can actually gain these tokens called the Mark of Honor Hold. Now, they're a little bit different than the actual Marks of Honor that we're collecting in this video, but they are still able to reward you with PvP gear. So there's a lot of vendors and such like that out in the world, and you can refer to all the different locations of them and such in this link that I have. It can be really helpful, especially if you're just trying to complete some set items and make a really cool appearance, but you want to get a few more items to make that look exactly the way you want it. So the options are there, and that's what I wanted to put out here for you guys. But these are the ways I feel like are the best right now for actually spending your Marks of Honor. I am kind of curious to see how things change in Legion, but we'll see what happens. So thanks a ton for watching, guys, and hope to see you guys in the next videos.